It's Cooking with Rad Max. Today, we're dropping episode deuce. Get it? Dropping a deuce? Alright, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If you're not ready for grown-up language, then it would behoove you to shut this video off right now. But if you're not afraid of words, and you're into nutrient density, then by all means, keep on watching. Now, it's a beautiful pandemic apocalyptic day to teach you guys how to cook my famous chicken sweet potato curry. Are you ready? All right. Now, first off, I'd actually recommend that you don't even eat chicken at all. Why? Well, my Russian friend Pavel says that chicken's a weak-ass bird. I mean, it can't even fly. Now, all right, chicken's not near as nutrient-dense as, say, a grass-fed steak. All right, it's not. But it still has a lot of high-quality protein. You see, protein from animal sources is actually extremely bioavailable. That means that your body knows what the hell to do with it. All right? Now, I'm not knocking your beans or your lentils. Those are fine sources of protein. All right? They just also tend to upset old Max's guts, if you know what I'm saying. They're not necessarily good for me or for those around me. All right. Moving along. All right. Now, how to go about acquiring your bird. All right, here's the thing. Why cook your own chicken when other people are already doing it for you? So today, I suited up. I took my sweet existence buff. That's right. Can I get it on my fucking face here? Yeah, like that. And I went out to the grocery store. I stood 6 feet from my neighbor, social distancing, all right? And I bought a rotisserie chicken that somebody else had already made. And that's what we're going to use today. You know, it used to be when somebody walked into the store dressed like this, everybody just lay on the ground. Now, just another beautiful day in the pandemic, I guess. Okay, so you made it home. You got your bird at the grocery store. Maybe you went to the Sprouts or the Safeway, what have you. You got your bird. All right, maybe you were even lucky enough to find some of that crystal clear nectar of the gods out there. Some of that hand sanitizer. You definitely want to lather up with some of this business here. Because you don't know if that fucker that cooked your bird was washing his hands. You know what I'm saying? You can't be too careful out there. Now let's talk about all the goodies you're going to need for this recipe. Your goodies! All right, that's your ingredients, goodies. Couple sweet potatoes, all right. Couple tubers here. You got your chicken, okay. All right, a few cloves of garlic. I got maybe 3-4 cloves of garlic here. Nice onion. You can do a yellow onion, a white onion. I don't really care. I don't care. That's your preference. 1 can of coconut milk. All right, if you're going on the lighter side, that's fine. I do a full-fat coconut milk. Couple limes, all right. Few limes here. Some of that grass-fed Kerrygold butter. That's right, nutrient-dense. I've got some Thrive algae oil here. You can use whatever you like, olive oil, avocado oil. Now, I also have a little Vindaloo curry. That's my seasoning here. Of course, some salt, pepper as well. And, always want to have a nice sharp blade, right? And cutting board. That's all you need. So you're going to want to chop and peel your sweet potatoes first, all right? They're going to take the longest. They're going to take about 25 minutes. So you're going to want to put them in the air fryer or the oven first, you see? I recommend while you're peeling your sweet potatoes, right, this is where you get your playlist going, you know. I like a little Kenny G from time to time, sometimes some Biggie, whatever floats your boat here in the pandemic. Oh, I forgot to mention these little guys. A year or so ago, I threw some onions out here, and I got some scallions. So we're just gonna snip off a couple of these bastards, and that's gonna be fantastic right there. That little guy, I wouldn't worry about that little guy. I'm gonna show you how to chop these sweet potatoes safely. All right, let me run a little scenario by you. Let's say I was to dick around here and I sliced the tip of my finger off. Where do I have to go? The fucking hospital, all right? Who's in the hospital? A bunch of goddamn sick people. I don't want to go there, so I'm going to be safe with my sweet potatoes. All right? So, as I'm slicing, what I want to do is make sure that the tip of the knife never comes off the board. All right? If I'm just willy-nilly dicing, I could lose a digit or two. All right? So, I'm going to quarter this. All right? All right, now I'm going to chop my quarters into thirds. All right.
So, again, tip of the knife never leaves the board. 1, 2, and 3 pieces. All right, moving along here, moving along.
Now I'm going to take my thirds, you see, and then I'm going to do about 1-inch slices. All right, so just all the way down, like so, and from there, this is what you should wind up with. All right, some little kind of 1-inch-ish cubes. All right, that's what I'm looking for. Now, even though I got these scallions from the garden, I don't know what kind of squirrel's been pissing on them or anything like that, so I'm going to go ahead and give them a good wash as well. All right, we're also going to slice up this onion here. And it doesn't have to be, uber precise here. It can be a little chunkier. I'm going to do some slices, kind of julienne them, if you will, if you want to use fancy terms. Now, we're going to saute the onion. I suppose you could cook the onion with the sweet potatoes as well, but the onions are going to cook faster than the sweet potato. Now let's talk nutrient density for a minute, all right? So if you got a fresh herb like this, everybody talks about how many antioxidants they have, all right? Now there's a theory out there that when you take that herb and you chop it up and you expose it to the oxygen, you're actually making the herb, although dead, technically, it actually creates more antioxidants. Now, that's a theory out there. I've heard it on a few podcasts, but I don't think there's any harm in maybe chopping it up, letting it sit there for a minute, all right, potentially giving you some extra nutrient density. Now, old Rad Max is also a pretty big fan of not using too many different dishes, all right? Keep it clean in the pandemic. So, the same pot that I'm going to use to cook my onions in, right now it's got my sweet potatoes. So what I'm going to do is just liberally apply some salt in there, all right? I'm going to throw a little bit of this curry seasoned in there. A little bit goes a long way. And I got some Vietnamese cinnamon. Now, you don't have to go to Vietnam for your cinnamon. I just prefer that one, all right? Now, I have a little bit of my algae oil here. Again, you can use a fine avocado oil or an olive oil, maybe a tablespoon or so. I'm just going to toss them around, get a nice coating. I'm a big fan of the air fryer, all right? It's quick, it's convenient, doesn't take up a lot of space, and fantastic cooking device, apocalypse or not. So I'm going to put it in here, all right, 370 degrees for 25 minutes, and we're going to let her go. Now I'm getting in here with my fingers and just pulling it apart right off the bone. Now I am discarding the fat. Oh, Max, I thought fat wasn't bad. That's right, assholes. All right, fat's not bad for you. But here's the thing. And call me paranoid if you want to. But, I got no time for bullshit in the apocalypse. And by bullshit, I mean toxins. All right? Animals, humans included, have a tendency to store toxins in our fat. All right? So when you're getting, a free-range chicken or a grass-fed beef, something like that, that's probably pretty nutrient-dense fat. All right, I'm not exactly sure where this chicken came from, so I'm just going to go ahead and discard the fat. Call me crazy. Now, some people like to rest on their laurels while they got their food in the oven or the air fryer. All right, here's the thing. The weaker you get, the more susceptible you are to COVID-19. A lot of people have a hell of a time getting this little shell off of their garlic. So pro tip, all right, just put that flat end of the knife right there. Give it a little smash, and that baby should come right off. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. You can dice it right up. We got a few tablespoons of butter, all right, on the stove here on about a medium heat. And I'm just going to put those onions that we julienned earlier. All right, and that garlic in there, we're just going to kind of let them get translucent. That is to say, you know, we should be able to see through them here in just a little bit. All right, so I just tried the sweet potatoes. They're still just a little soft, so I put them in for 5 more minutes at 300. All right, let's go take a look at these onions over here. What do we got? Oh man, getting close to that translucence. All right, now if you guys have never worked with a full-fat coconut oil, sometimes the consistency can be a little tricky. So what I like to do is pour it into a bowl and then whisk it up until I get everything kind of just the same consistency there. All right, I'm going to use about a half a can in this recipe. I'm going to pour it into a mason jar here. So, it looks like 1 can is about 400 milliliters. All right, ish. It's a apocalypse, all right? You don't have to get exact with your measurements. So now I've got my coconut milk just simmering along here with the onions and the garlic. At this point, I'm going to put a little vindaloo curry in there. All right, just a little bit. All right, I can always add later if I want a little more. Looks like we're ready to add our chicken. It's already been pulled apart. Just gonna scoop it right in there. Oh yeah, right about now, those sweet potatoes should be just finishing up. Don't forget about that little wishbone, right? I wish everybody knew just how important it was to stay on track with your diet, even though there's a pandemic going on. Now we're getting towards the end, and I haven't used the limes yet. All right, so we're going to cut this lime in half, and I'm just going to squeeze this, all right, towards the end, get a nice little citrus flair in there, all right? So we're going to use the juice of 1 lime, all right, just to squeeze in right now, just to get a little extra zest, little pop, you know? Squeeze in. We're going to use a couple more for garnishes, all right? Now, you should still have those scallions. Oh, yeah. These little guys right here. So we're going to put those in right at the end there. There you go. There's your sweet potato coconut chicken curry. Enjoy. You know, Max, you're a goddamn culinary genius. Hot dog. Until next time, stay nutrient dense. Put a mask on your face. Stay 6 feet apart from one another. And for God's sake, wash your fucking hands.